Anyway, I do have a message, and here it is. Obama, Pelosi, and Reid, you lied. Yeah. Joe had it right. You lied. Yeah. You know what? We don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to sound the alarm. We, the people, don't have a lot of time. A Marxist is in office. Yeah. Marxism is taking over. And I'm going to repeat something that John Adams, one of our great founders of this country, stated. A government of a constitution that changes from freedom cannot be restored. Liberty lost is lost forever.
Yes.
Do you know what that means? Next month, I don't know if you know this, but Obama is going to Copenhagen to sign a treaty.
Give up our nation.
He's going to give up our nation. You know the reason why we are called names like extremist and racist and all these labels that don't fit us? They don't want us to get the truth out there, because they know that if we get the truth out there, there will be a counter-revolution. You know, with Ron Paul, we said, we have a revolution, But Tom Tancredo said, you know what? The revolution already happened, and they won. They are in power. So we need the counter-revolution. And let me tell you, they are working really hard around the clock. This socialist health care bill, they signed that, they passed it in Congress on a Sunday. They're Marxists. They go and they join the Democrat Party. What my fear is that we will have Obama as the next dictator of the world, and he'd be in office forever. So I don't mean to sound alarmist, but you know what? Look around. Look what's happening. Just this week, Lou Dobbs was forced off air. I don't believe for a second that it was a mutual thing. I think he was forced off by George Soros, Obama, and the powers that be, because they don't want us to have our voice while they're trying to push amnesty through. We can win. They had the motto, we're taking it. Yes, we can. Let me hear it. Yes, we can. And one of the things that we need to do, and I'm going to be very blunt, and I used to be guilty of this myself, stop voting the lesser of two evils. Yes. Evil is still evil, and that's why we're where we're at today. We have to take chances. Let me tell you something. I know I've heard some people say, not in this group, but well, why are you running? What are your credentials? You know what? Does it really matter? My credential is I'm an American that believes in the Constitution, and I have morals. Our founding fathers, when they started our government, they started it so that we would govern ourselves. They never designed our country to have career politicians. If we do not vote these career politicians out of office, we're no longer going to have a country. How many of you want to live in oppression? No. All right. How many want to see freedom restored? Yeah. I think we need to prove John Adams wrong. We need to restore our liberty and freedom that we are definitely losing. Okay, so this is what we need to do. You've heard from Patriot candidates today. It's our responsibility to go out and find out who they are. Find out in your district who they are. Find out who's running for Senate. And let me tell you something, I'm not running in the Republican ticket. I'm running as an independent. We need to band together. We need to unite. And let me tell you, we can be party loyal no more. Amen. No more party loyalty. You're either loyal to this country or you're loyal to special interest. You have to decide. But for me, I'm country loyal. So the only way that I was going to be on the ballot come November, the only way I'd win a primary is as an independent. That means I can go against the two big parties. So how can we win this? We have to do it this grassroots, and I know it works. But I want to tell you, because I read Kimberly Dvorak. I encourage all of you to read Kimberly's columns every day, The Examiner. If you really want to know the truth, she is one of the only journalists out there telling the truth. You will be surprised at what she uncovers. We have to be courageous. If we are not courageous, the same things that happen in Mexico are going to happen here. If you want to know how bad it is, The UN peacekeeping force has been invited, and not that I'm not a supporter of the UN, trust me, but the UN peacekeeping army has been invited to Mexico because it's that bad there, and it is getting bad here. If you want to know how frightening it is, don't pay attention to ABC, CBS, and NBC. You're not going to get the news. So we need to band together. We can do this. And I'm going to say this, and I'm saying it boldly, I am a Christian, and my power comes from God. And let me tell you, that's the way our founding fathers were. It was God and then the Constitution, and that's what we honor. This flag right here, this red, white, and blue flag, this should be a reminder to us every day of why we're fighting. The blood, the freedom, and the liberty. Do we want that forever, or are we going to let this go? We have to stop this.
It should be citizens first, and also I will stop sanctuary cities, and they will be fine. They will not receive, and this is something a governor can do. I do not have to fund any sanctuary city. No sanctuary city will get funding under my governorship.
And if there's one thing you want the voters of California to know, what is it you want them to know about you?
We need to fight. It's not even just about me, it's about all of us. We need to fight for freedom. We need to fight for our First Amendment, our Second Amendment, all of our Bill of Rights. And if we don't fight for that, we are going to be under Marxist. We're already there. We, the people, need to pay attention to how we vote. We, the people, need to get out and educate others. We, the people, need to take our government back.
We've been going in the wrong direction for a long time, not just with this administration. This administration's only had 1 year. And the problems we have today is a consequence of bad policies for decades. It takes a long time to destroy a healthy, vibrant economy, and it took these many decades to do it. And there are two parties that were responsible, the Republicans and the Democrats. It's a much bigger issue than 1 year of politics. He talked about change, and nothing has changed. The Republicans, of course, when they are out of office, they want change too. And yet, when we had our chance 10 years ago to get in and make a difference, not much happened. So it's a big problem, changing the course of a nation. And I like the analogy that it's hard to turn around an aircraft carrier. You don't turn an aircraft carrier around on a dime. It would have been neither. I mean, it wouldn't have been any better off, and it wouldn't have been worse off. It would have been the same policies. Obama has followed McCain's policy in the Middle East. He's expanding the war, sending more troops to Afghanistan, bombing back Pakistan, taking on Yemen, and threatening Iran. And that's exactly what McCain would have done, and that cost a lot of money. It's a disaster. But fortunately, for those of us who would like to go in a different direction, are winning this argument, and it's the key issue of this year and next year, or well, this year, at the end of this year in this election. I think it's going to bring about major changes in the Congress. Economic concerns are the biggest issue, and along with that, because it is an economic concern, is the worry about health care. If they're happy with what they have, they see health care as changes being made in Washington as a threat to them, and others are concerned about the cost of it, and they see that's related to the economy, so that's a big issue as well. This idea of trying to make you feel better by saying it's a jobless recovery, I mean, that's about the most fantastic oxymoron I've ever heard of. I mean, if you don't have a job, how do you have a recovery? So you don't have a recovery until people get their jobs back. No change at all. It's the same old stuff. The change is occurring, though, but it's changing in the country. The people are waking up. The Tea Party movement is significant. The college campuses are changing. The organizations that have been formed to try to change this country. So there's tremendous changes going on in the country, and I place a lot of hope in the next generation because they're very interested in this subject. But Congress, the same old stuff. It goes on and on. I think about it all the time. I think about where I'm going on my vacation and when I'll be seeing my kids and whether I'll get my exercise in and things like that. No, I don't think about the politics. I think about 2010 now. 1 year at a time.